I joined the flying column in 1916. In Cork with Sean Moylan, in Tipperary with Dan Breen. Arrested by Free Staters and sentenced for to die. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee mountain boy. Well, we went across the valleys and o'er the hilltops green, where we met with Denny Lacey, Sean Hogan, and Dan Breen. Sean Moylan and his gallant men, they kept the flag flying high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee mountain boy. We tracked the Wicklow Mountains, we were rebels on the run. Though hunted night and morning, we were outlaws but free men. We tracked the Dublin Mountains as the sun was shining high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee mountain boy. Well, I bid farewell to old Clonmel that I never more will see, and to the Galtee mountains that oft time sheltered me. The men who fought for their liberty and died without a sigh, may their cause be ne'er forgotten, said the Galtee mountain boy.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So this is from the 19th century, possibly the Civil War era, about an Irish immigrant in the US. And he meets a beautiful Creole woman. It's called Lakes of Pontchartrain. You know the song?
Yeah.
"'Twas on a bright March morning, I bid New Orleans adieu, and I took the road to Jacksontown, my fortune to renew. I cursed all foreign money, no credit could I gain, and it filled my heart with longing for the lakes of Pontchartrain." Okay, I'm going to take a break here. Okay. I stepped on board of a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the rods till evening, and I laid me down again. All strangers here, no friends to me, till a dark girl towards me came, and I fell in love with a Creole girl from the lakes of Pontchartrain. I said, "My pretty Creole girl, my money here's no good. If it weren't for the alligator, in the wood. You're welcome here, kind stranger. Our house, it's very plain, but we never turn a stranger out on the lakes of Pontchartrain. I asked her if she'd marry me. She said that ne'er could be, for she had got another, and he was far at sea. She said that she would wait for him, and true she would remain till he returned to his Creole girl by the lakes of Pontchartrain. So fare thee well, my bonny girl, I never may see no more, but I'll ne'er forget your kindness in the cottage by the shore, and at every social gathering a flowing glass I'll raise, and I'll drink a health to my Creole girl from the lakes of the Pontchartrain. And I'll drink a health to my Creole girl by the lakes of Pontchartrain.
Okay. You know, if you go over to Ireland, you just kind of, doesn't make any difference where you go. Somebody sings this song. And it is, you're all familiar with it, Galway Girl. Now, unfortunately, the song is really lends itself to a lot of instruments. And therefore, if you don't have a lot of instruments, you know, there's something kind of left out. But anyway, we were in Ireland in 2018, and you know, we kind of checked out the music wherever we went, and I think we heard this song performed 3 different places while we were there. And then there's an Irish restaurant in that community there near, in Orlando, near Epcot. And, you know, they have Irish music going there. And, of course, they did the song, you know, in that restaurant, too. So, anyway, you know, I mean, there's a lot of competition out there to, you know, that you have to compare yourself to when you do this song. So, anyway, we'll give her a try. Well, I took a stroll down the old long walk on a day I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day and I asked your friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue, and I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl down the Salt Hill Prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down on a day she asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day and I asked your friend, what's a fella to do? 'cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. So when I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. And I ask you now, tell me, what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? And 'cause I've traveled around, been over this world, and I've never seen nothing like a Galway girl. And I ask you now, tell me, what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? 'Cause I've traveled around, been over this world, and I've never seen nothing like a Galway girl. I forgot to say that when I researched the song, I ran into another YouTube explanation, and the Galway girl was a lady that Steve Earle, the primary artist for the song, he had a quick relationship with. And you know, just like the song says, her her hair was black and her eyes were blue. So anyway, there's a real person. And I mean, I guess that'd be kind of tough to be that person, for real.
I'm going to do Old Maid in a Garret. I have never heard a recording of this ever, anywhere. It came from a book from compilation of Irish songs by Mel O'Bey that my daughter had. So, we learned it. See if I remember how it goes. I flipped it up the other night. I was told by my aunt, I was told by my mother, that going to a wedding was the making of another. And if that be so, sure I'd go without a bidding. Oh, kind Providence, won't you send me to a wedding? And it's, oh, dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? Well, there's my sister Jean, she's not handsome or good looking, scarcely 16, and a fella she was courting. Now at 24 with a son and a daughter, here I am 45, and I've never had an offer. And it's, oh dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? I can cook and I can sew and I can keep the house right tidy, rise up in the morn and get the breakfast ready. There's nothing in the whole world that makes me half so cheery as a wee fat man who would call me his own dearie. And it's, oh dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? So come landsman, come pinsman, come tinker or come tailor, come fiddler, come dancer, come plowman or come sailor, Come rich man, come poor man, come fool or come witty, come any man at all that will marry me for pity. And it's oh dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? Well, now I'm away from home and there's nobody's eating, there's nobody eating. Poor Annie's bleeding, and I'm away from home in my poorly lit garret. If I can't get a man, then I'll have to get a parrot. And it's oh dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? And it's oh dear me, how will it be if I die an old maid in a garret? That's my happy Irish song, kind of.
1896. This is written by a Mr. French and a Mr. Collison. The Mountains of Mourne are in Northern Ireland, but in 1896, Northern Ireland was not a separate entity. That didn't happen until 1921. So it's about a guy who went to London and he's homesick for Ireland, don't you know? All right. Oh, Mary, this London's a wonderful sight, with people here working by day and by night. They don't sow potatoes, nor barley, nor wheat, but there's gangs of them digging for gold in the street. At least, when I asked them, that's what I was told. So I just took a hand at this digging for gold. But for all that I've found there, I might as well be where the mountains of Marne sweep down to the sea. I believe within right in the wish you expressed as to how the fine ladies of London were dressed. But if you'll believe me, when asked to a ball, they don't wear no tops to their dresses at all. Oh, I've seen them myself, and you could not in truth tell if they were bound for a ball or a bath. Don't be starting them fashions now, Mary McCree, where the mountains of Marne sweep down to the sea. There's beautiful girls here, oh, never you mind. Beautiful shapes nature never designed. Lovely complexions of roses and cream. But let me remark, with regard to the same, that if those roses you venture to sip, the colors might all come away on your lip. So wait for the wild roses waiting for me in the place where the dark morn sweeps down to the sea. You remember young Diddy McLaren of course, but he's over here with the rest of the farce. I saw him one day as he stood on the Strand, stopped all the traffic with a wave of his hand. And as we were talking of days that are gone, the whole town of London stood there to look on. But for all his great powers, he's wishful like me, to be back where the dark morn sweeps down to the sea.
Well, I took took a stroll on the old long walk of a day, and I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day, oh day. And I ask you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill prom with a Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down of a day, oh day, ah, day. Then you asked me up to a flat downtown on a fine soft day, ah, day. And I ask you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. When I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. And I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? And I've traveled around, I've been over this world, but I ain't seen nothing like the Galway girl.
All right, let me do Raglan Road and Carrickfergus.
Good, good, good.
But first, Susan takes you down. Is the sound okay?
Sound is beautiful.
On Raglan Road on an autumn day, I saw her first and knew that her dark hair would weave a snare I might one day rue. I saw the danger, and yet I passed along the enchanted way. And I said, let grief be a falling leaf at the dawning of the day. On Grafton Street in November, we trip lightly along the ledge of a deep ravine where can be seen the worth of passions pledged. The Queen of Hearts still making tarts while I not making hay. Oh, I love too much, and by such and such is happiness thrown away. I gave her the gifts of the mind, I gave her the secret sign that's known to the artists who have known true God's a sound and stone, and word and tint I did not stint, or I gave her poems to say with her own name there in her own dark hair, like clouds over fields of May. On a quiet street where old ghosts meet, I see her walking now, away from me, and suddenly my reason must allow that I have loved not as I should, a creature made of clay. When the angel woos the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn of day. When the angel woos the clay, he'll lose his wings at the dawn of day.
This is a song that the Dubliners did. I'm not sure who wrote this thing. It's called Foggy Dew. That's down the glen. Oh, wait a minute. I've got to... There's no way I can do this without the scroll. I can't memorize all these words. As down the glen one Easter morn, one city fair rode I. The armed lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, nor battle drum did sound its loud tattoo, but the Angelus bell for Liffey swell rang out through the foggy dew. Right proudly high o'er Dublin town they hung the flag of war. 'Twas better die 'neath the Irish sky in the Suvala Sud El Bar. And from the plains of Royal Meath strong men came hurrying through, and the Brennus sons and their long-range guns sailed in through the Mountie Dew. 'Twas England bade our wild geese go, that small nations might be free, but their lonely graves by Suvala's ways were the fringe of the great North Sea. Had they died by Perseus' side and fought with the Catherine, then their names will keep where the Fenians sleep, 'neath the kind of the foggy dew. But the bravest tell, and the requiem bell rang mournfully and clear. And those who died in the Eastertide in the springtime of the year, while the world did gaze with deep amaze, those fearless men but few, whose bore the fight of freedom's light, might shine through the foggy dew. Back through the glen I rode again, my heart with grief was sore, for I parted then the valiant men, when I never shall see no more. But to and from my dreams I go, I've heard I pray for you, for the slavery fled, oh glorious dead, you fell in the foggy dew. For the slavery fled, oh glorious dead, but you fell in the foggy dew.
I'm also going to do the Foggy Dew, but a completely different version.
Oh, cool.
A little bit,
right.
some similarity in the
Cool.
melody, but that one that you did, Ed, is about the as you probably know, was about the Easter Rebellion,
Yep,
the Irish Rebellion in the early 1900s.
yep,
And I
1916.
believe this version predates that, and it's about, I don't know for like complete, I've been listening to it for a long time, but usually I hear your version, Ed, like Sinead O'Connor had a
Yep, she
big
did.
recording
Yeah,
of the Chieftains.
yeah.
I remember hearing that and loving that. But this is before that, and it's about like seeing a ghost, and then I'm not sure if the ghost was actually the person's beloved, but anyway, it's also the Foggy Dew. Oh, one cloud was drawn o'er the dim weeping dawn, as to Shannon's side I returned at last. And the heart in my breast for the boy I loved best was beating, beating loud and fast. While the doubts and the fears of the long aching years seemed mingling their voices with the moaning flood, till full in my path, like a wild water wrath, my true love's shadow lamenting stood. But the sodden sun kissed the cold, cruel mist into dancing showers of diamond dew. And the dark flowing stream laughed back to his beam, and the lark soared aloft in the blue, while no phantom of night but a form of delight ran with arms outstretched to her darling boy. And the boy I love best on my wild throbbing breast, hid his 1,000 treasures with cries of joy. And the boy I love best on my wild, throbbing breast hid his 1,000 treasures with cry of joy.
All right. This one is indeed an Irish song. At least it's written and performed by Irish lady. You've heard of Mary Black, you know, kind of a well-known Irish singer-songwriter. She has a sister named Frances Black, and then Frances' daughter is both the writer and the performer on this song. It's called All Along the Wild Atlantic Way. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the wild Atlantic way. I'm 60 years in Nova Scotia, waiting for the day when we'll be turning homeward, all along the wild Atlantic way. Remember when we went to Bumbeck, shipwreck in the bay, sat and watched the northwest sunset all along the wild Atlantic way. The time that we climbed Clopatrick nearly went astray. Our legs were aching, falling off us all along the wild Atlantic way. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the wild Atlantic way. The time that we went skinny dipping down in Derrynay, smelling Galway salted ocean all along the wild Atlantic way. The day that we heard Willie Clancy piping in Mull Bay, we sang and danced till early morning all along the wild Atlantic way. I'd watch you catch the fish near Dingle as Currows rode away. I wait for you with half-light gloaming all along the wild Atlantic way. Cycling back from Blackball hiking, salty from the spray, the ocean looming out beyond us all along the wild Atlantic way. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the wild Atlantic way. When will you bring me my love? I'm counting down the days. When will you bring me my love? All along the wild Atlantic way. All
So my song is called Molly Maguire. It's by the Elders, they're a contemporary rock Irish group, I guess you would call them. They wrote this song. It was on their 2000 CD. In 64, Molly arrived in 66. The land from which she came was troubled and torn. She followed her forefathers' steps. Later that year, Molly gave birth to a son she always called King. The days were long and the work was hard, reward no match for the dream. But as the boy grew, there developed a bond unique between mothers and sons. Molly gave King his daddy's gold ring. That wandering heart made her run. Where are you going, Molly Maguire? Your dreams all are gone and your heart on fire. Where are you going, Molly Maguire? Molly, can I go with you? Molly, can I go with you? Soon the big city sucked Molly down into a void on Factory Row. She worked like a slave, died a little each day. She knew it was her time to go. Molly loved the land where Lady Liberty stands. She follows her dreams, but she failed. With a pistol in her purse, she could finally end the curse. No more tears, no more pain. She thought about Ireland, thought about King. No one left to blame for the loss of her dreams. She drew her last breath and laid it to rest on a cold winter's night in the rain. On a cold winter's night in the rain. Where are you going, Molly Maguire? Your dreams all are gone and your heart on fire. Where are you going, Molly Maguire? Molly, can I go with you? Molly, can I go with you?
You're right.
This song was written by a Canadian group, but it's all about an Irish guy, so I'm going to call it an Irish song. And what's more is these Canadians all had parents who were from Ireland, and that's why they call their group the Irish Descendants. And they all started in the fishing business, but they decided to go into music because that was a lot less smelly. And this is called My Misty Morning Shore. My ship lies in the harbor, the full moon shining o'er. A salty breeze blows in the bay, I hear the combers roar. Tomorrow I am bound away, far from this land so poor, to start a new life far away from my misty morning shore. To leave my dear old mother, it will break her heart for sure. Likewise my aged father, I'll never see no more. But to leave my dear old Ireland, it grieves me 10 times o'er. Tomorrow I must sail away from my misty morning shore. Fare thee well, dear Ireland, it's westward I must go. But when I reach America, there's one thing that I know, that when the full moon's rising up in the east once more, I know it's also shining on my misty morning shore. It's been 5 years, dear mother, since first I sailed away. I heard a famine took its toll, the new arrivals say. But in this land of plenty, I'll live forevermore. But my heart's across the ocean on my misty morning shore. It's been 9 years, dear mother, I've taken me a wife. I built a home for me and her down by the waterside. She's given me a daughter, sweet Erin is her name. I named her for my country and claimed her for its fame. But I long for you, dear Ireland, I will until I die. But when my life is over, it's here that I must lie, down here by the ocean, where my family can watch o'er. The full moon shining down on me and my misty morning shore.
So it's called Whiskey in the Jar. So some of you may be familiar with it. As I was going over the far famed Kerry Mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced me pistol, and I then produced me rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver. Moosha ring dum-a-doo dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar." I counted out his money and it made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore that she never would deceive me, but the devil take a woman, for they never can be easy. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. I went into my chamber, all for to take my slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, and for sure it was no wonder. But Jenny drew me charges, and she filled them up with water. They sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. 'Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. Up comes a band of footmen, and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced me pistol, for she's stolen away me rapier. But I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now there's some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, others take delight in the hurling and the bowling, but I take delight in the juice of the barley, and courting pretty fair maidens in the morning, bright and early. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, 'tis me brother in the army. If I can find his station in Cork or in Killarney, if you'll go with me, we'll go roaming in Kilkenny, and I'm sure he'll treat me better than me only sporting Jenny. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Moo-sha, ring, dum-a-doo, dum-a-da. Whack for the daddy-o, whack for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
I wish I was in Carrickfergus, only for nights in Ballygran. I would swim over the deepest ocean, only for nights in Ballygrand, but the sea is wide, I can't swim over, neither have I wings to fly. Wish I had me a handy boatsman to ferry me over, my love and I, my childhood days bring back sad reflection of happy times there spent long ago. My boyhood friends and my own relations, they've all passed on now like melting snow. And so I'll spend my days in endless roaming, soft as the grass and the shore, my bed is free. Oh, to be home now in Carrickfergus, on that long road down to the salty sea. And in Kilkenny it is reported on marble stones as black as ink, how with gold and silver I did support her. But I'll say no more till I get a drink. I'm drunk tonight, I'm really sober, a handsome rover from town to town, but I am sick now, my days are numbered. Come all ye young men and lay me down. Come all ye young men and lay me down.
This is a song that's written by Liam Riley, who used to sing with the Clancy Brothers at times. And it was written probably, I would guess, in the 80s, 1980s, when Ireland was kind of coming out of the troubled years of the 70s. And the economy was not real good. And they were losing people left and right. It's called Flight of Earls. I can hear the bells of Dublin in this lonely waiting room, and the paper boys are singing in the rain. Not too long before they take us to the airport and the noise to get on board a transatlantic plane. We've got nothing left to stay for, we have no more left to say, and there isn't any work for us to do. So farewell, ye boys and girls, another bloody flight of earls. Our best asset is our best export too. It's not murder, fear, or famine that makes us leave this time. We're not going to join McAlpine's Fusiliers. We've got brains and we've got vision. We've got education too, but we just can't throw away these precious years. So we walk the streets of London and the streets of Baltimore, and we meet at night in several Bostons. We're the leaders of the future, but we're far away from home, and we dream of you beneath the Irish stars. As we look on Ellis Island and the lady in the bay, Manhattan turns to face another Sunday. We just wonder what you're doing to bring us all back home, as we look forward to another Monday. 'Cause it's not the work that scares us, we don't mind an honest job, and we know things will get better once again. So 1,000 times adieu. We've got Bono and you too. All we're missing is the Guinness and the rain. So switch off your new computers, 'cause the writing's on the wall. We're leaving as our fathers did before. Take a look at Dublin Airport, or the boat that leaves North Wall. There'll be no youth unemployment anymore, 'cause we're over here in Queensland and in parts of New South Wales. We're on the seas and airways and the trains. But if we see better days, those big airplanes go both ways, and we'll be coming home to you again. Yes, and we'll be coming home to you again.
Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen, and down the mountainside. The summer's gone, and all the flowers are dying. 'Tis you must go, and I must bide. But come ye back when summer's in the meadow, or when the valley's hushed and white with snow. 'Tis I'll be here in sunshine or in shadow. Oh, Danny boy, oh, Danny boy, I love you so. And if you come when all the flowers are dying, and I am dead, as dead I well may be, you'll come and find the place where I am lying, and kneel and say an Ave there for me. And I shall hear, though soft you tread above me, and all my dreams will warm and sweeter be. If you'll not fail to tell me that you love me, I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me. I'll simply sleep in peace until you come to me.
It's a Richard Thompson song, From Galway to Graceland. Oh, she dressed in the dark, and she whispered amen. She was pretty in pink like a young girl again. 20 years married, and she never thought twice. She packed up her bags and walked into the night. Silver rings carried her over the sea to the west coast of Ireland, to West Tennessee, just to be with her sweetheart. Well, she left everything, from Galway to Graceland, to be with the king. Oh, she sang "Love Me Tender," That's the song she loved best. She had Elvis, I love you, tattooed on her breast. When they landed in Memphis, well, her heart beat so fast. She dreamed for so long now she'd see him at last. She knelt by his graveside day after day. Come closing time, they would lead her away just to be with her sweetheart. Well, she left everything from Galway to Graceland to be with the king. By the thousands they came from the whole human race to pay their respects at his last resting place. But blindly she knelt there and she told him her dreams. And they thought that he answered, or that's how it seemed. Then they dragged her away, it was handcuffs this time. She said, my good man, you are out of your mind. Don't you know that we're married? See him wearing his ring. I come from Galway to Graceland to be with the king. I come from Galway to Graceland to be with the king. Galway to Graceland.
Right. So this is a bluegrass song written by Ulla Bell Reed, made more famous the McCoy Band, and Marty Stewart, among others, recorded it. But this is Kathy Ryan, who is Irish, her version. So it's the Irish version of a bluegrass song, you know, since we take songs back and forth across the big pond all the time. I like this version. It's called High on a Mountain. As I look at the valley down below, it is green just as far as I can see. As my memory returns, how my heart does yearn for you and the days that used to be. High on a mountain, living free, thinking about the days that used to be. High on a mountain, standing alone, wondering where the years of my life have gone. I wonder if you ever think of me, or if time's blotted out your memory. listen to the breeze blow gently through the trees. Wonder if you ever think of me. High on a mountain, living free, thinking about the days that used to be. High on a mountain, standing alone, wondering where the years of life have gone. High on a mountain, living free, thinking about the days that used to be. High on a mountain, standing alone, wondering where the years of my life have gone.
This is an Irish sappy song. It was written by two Irish lads, Ollie Kennedy and Tom Coleman, for two other Irish lads, Foster and Allen. My darling, come to me, sit you down easily and rest a while in the soft firelight. Cold is the night, warm is my heart with pride, having you by my side. You're still my guiding light after all these years. Your soft assuring ways, the rock I lean on, saw me through my darkest days when all hope had gone. You're still the only one I'll ever hold near, and I love you after all these years. Time from me passes on, and I'm growing old. A lifetime nearly gone, I cannot unfold. Nights dark and cold, warm is your hand and mine, feeble with ageless time. The light of love still shines after all these years. Your soft assuring ways, the rock I lean on, saw me through my darkest days when all hope had gone. You're still the only one I'll ever hold near, and I love you after all these years. I still love you after all these years.
Colleen Malone, and I think everybody's familiar with it. So I'm gonna butcher it because it's late and I can't see my strings, but let's get the scroll going. It's been 10 years and 3 since I first went to sea, since I sailed from old Ireland and home. But those hills lush and green were a part of my dream when I dreamed of my calling alone. On the day I returned to my sorrow, I learned that the angels had called her away to a grave on the hill overlooking the mill. That's a place where she's sleeping today. As the soft breezes blow through the meadow, I go past the mill with the moss-covered stone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vine to be with my calling alone. She was faithful each day as I sailed far away. There was no one but me that she loved. I remember those eyes, soft and blue as the skies, and her heart was as pure as a dove. As the soft breezes blow through the meadow, I go past the mill with the moss-covered stone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vine to be with my calling alone. All the years of my life I will not take a wife. I will live in this valley alone, planting flowers around in this soft, gentle ground that is holding my calling alone. As the soft breezes blow through the meadow, I go past the mill with the moss-covered stone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vine to be with my calling alone. Up the pathway I climb through the woods and the vine to be with my calling alone.
Now, this is a John Prine song. Now, how does he relate to Ireland? He spent a lot of time there. You come home late, you come home early. You come on big when you're feeling small. You come home straight, you come home curly. Sometimes you don't come home at all.
Sounds like a drinking song.
What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness.
You're out there running just to be on the run. I got a heart that burns with a fever. I got a worried and a jealous mind. How can a love that'll last forever be left so far behind? What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. It's a mighty mean, it's a dreadful sorrow. It's crossed the evil line today. Well, how can you ask about tomorrow when we ain't got one word to say? What in the world's come over you? What in heaven's name have you done? You've broken the speed of the sound of loneliness. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run. You're out there running just to be on the run.
So here's the story. Here's the story. This guy has a banjo in the back seat of his car, and he went to stop at a restaurant to eat. So he was worried about his banjo, so he made sure he locked the car, right? So he goes in the restaurant. When he comes out, one of the windows is broken in his car. And he said, "Oh, shit! Somebody stole my banjo." So he looked in. There were two banjos.
But you know when a banjo player has perfect pitch,
Right.
Yes.
we
We've
can toss
heard
it
that.
into the dumpster and hit the accordion.